Opening, the beginning. Imagine waking up in a world with no cities. No roads. No electricity. No machines. No internet. No phones. And no artificial intelligence. Only forests, rivers, mountains, and a small group of humans trying to survive. Thousands of years ago, this was our world. But somehow, in an incredibly short period of time, humanity transformed the planet. We went from stone tools to agriculture. From villages to cities. From fire to electricity. From horses to airplanes. From handwritten messages to a global digital network. And today, we are creating machines that can learn, create, and think. So how did we get here? This is the story of human civilization. From stone to AI. Chapter 1. The Stone Age. Long before the first cities existed, early humans lived close to nature. They hunted animals. They gathered plants. They moved from one place to another in search of food and shelter. Their tools were simple: stone, wood, bone. But these simple objects changed everything. A sharp stone could cut meat. A spear could help hunt. And then came one of the greatest discoveries in human history: fire. Fire provided warmth. It protected humans from predators. It allowed food to be cooked. And perhaps most importantly, it gave humans a new way to gather together. Around the fire, humans could communicate, teach, plan, and pass knowledge from one generation to the next. For the first time, human knowledge could accumulate. And that changed our future forever. Chapter 2. The Birth of Agriculture. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived mainly as hunters and gatherers. Then something extraordinary happened. Humans began to grow plants and domesticate animals. This was the beginning of agriculture. Instead of constantly moving in search of food, people could stay in one place. Small settlements began to appear. Families became communities. Communities became villages. And populations began to grow. But agriculture created something else: surplus. For the first time, some people could produce more food than they personally needed. That allowed others to become builders, craftsmen, soldiers, traders, and eventually, rulers. Human society was becoming more complex. And the first civilizations were about to emerge. Chapter 3. The First Civilizations. Thousands of years ago, some of the world's first great civilizations appeared near rivers: the Nile, the Tigris and Euphrates, the Indus, the Yellow River. These rivers provided water, fertile land, transportation, and the foundation for large societies. Cities began to rise. People built temples. They developed systems of government. They created laws. They traded goods over long distances. And then came another revolutionary invention: writing. For the first time, humans could record information outside the human mind. Names, numbers, laws, stories, taxes. History itself could now be preserved. Civilization had found a memory. Chapter 4. The Age of Empires. As cities grew, so did their ambitions. Kingdoms expanded. Armies became larger. Trade routes connected distant regions. Great empires appeared across the ancient world. The Egyptians built enormous monuments. The Greeks explored philosophy, mathematics, and science. The Romans built roads, bridges, cities, and vast systems of government. Across Asia, powerful civilizations developed their own technologies, philosophies, and cultures. Humanity was no longer living in isolated groups. It was becoming interconnected. But the ancient world would eventually change. Empires would rise and fall. And new civilizations would take their place. Chapter 5. The Age of Knowledge. During the Middle Ages, the world experienced enormous changes. Cities expanded. Trade networks grew. Religions and cultures spread across continents. And knowledge continued to travel. In the Islamic Golden Age, scholars translated and preserved earlier works while making major advances in mathematics, medicine, astronomy, chemistry, and engineering. Algebra developed. Hospitals became more sophisticated. Astronomers studied the skies. Engineers designed remarkable machines. Knowledge was no longer limited to one civilization. It was moving across the world. And eventually, another revolution would accelerate this process dramatically. Chapter 6: The Renaissance and the Scientific Revolution. Europe entered a period of extraordinary cultural and scientific transformation. The Renaissance brought renewed interest in art, anatomy, engineering, and the natural world. Then came a powerful new idea. What if we could understand nature through observation and experiment? Scientists began challenging old assumptions. They studied motion, the planets, light,